UN chief names 5 emergencies as priorities in 2022. Countries have failed to meet 5 major challenges under the pandemic, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said in an address presenting his priorities in 2022 to a session of the 193-nation UN General Assembly.
I want to begin the year by raising 5 alarms on COVID-19, global finance, climate action, lawlessness in cyberspace, and peace and security. We face a 5-alarm global fire that requires the full mobilization of all countries. Across all these challenges, the world needs a strong and effective United Nations to deliver results. First, we must go into emergency mode in the COVID-19 battle.
Guterres called for actions that are grounded in science and common sense.
Omicron is yet another warning, and the next variant may be worse. Stopping the spread anywhere must be at the top of the agenda everywhere. At the same time, the virus cannot be used as cover to undermine human rights, shrink civic space, and stifle press freedom. We need all countries and all manufacturers to prioritize vaccine supply to COVAX and to create the conditions for the local production of tests, vaccines and treatments in so many countries able to do it around the world.
Global financial system failed. One of the main functions of the global financial system was to ensure stability by supporting economies through financial shocks. But the pandemic is itself a shock and the system failed, Guterres said.
The divergence between developed and developing countries is becoming systemic, a recipe for instability, crisis, and forced migration. These imbalances are not a bug, but a feature of the global financial system. They are inbuilt and structural. They are the product of a system that routinely ascribes poor credit ratings to developing economies, starving them of private finance.
Third, we must go into emergency mode against the climate crisis. This year, we need an avalanche of action. All major developed and developing economies must do much more, much faster, to change the math and to reduce the suffering. Of course, taking into account common but differentiated responsibilities. A growing number of countries have committed to significant emissions reductions by 2030.
We must go into emergency mode to put humanity at the center of technology. Technology shouldn't use us. We should use technology. And if governed properly, the opportunities are extraordinary, especially if we can ensure safe and secure internet connectivity everywhere. Realizing such benefits requires safely connecting the 2.9 billion people who remain offline, mainly in developing countries. Excellency, the fourth area is one where global governance barely exists at all. Excellencies, fifth, we need to go into emergency mode to bring peace to a world that sees too little of it.
Guterres said the number of violent conflicts is currently the highest since 1945, military coups are back and impunity is taking hold.
Nuclear weapon stockpiles now exceed 13,000, the highest level in decades. Human rights and the rule of law are under assault. Populism, nativism, white supremacy, and other forms of racism and extremism are poisoning social cohesion and institutions everywhere. The pushback on human rights, especially the right of women and girls, continues. We need a united Security Council fully engaged and addressing them.
News on the United Nations and the world. Make sure to subscribe to this Facebook account by clicking the button above this video. See you next time.